They cursed your name, thinking heaven wasn't listening. Now heaven's answering with silence. Their tongue stained your name. Now it tastes ash. They whispered your destruction. God wrote it back to them. You didn't fight back. God did. They laughed when you wept. Their joy is now haunted. Your name burned in their mouth. Now everything they love is on fire. They thought they'd forget you, but their life now echoes your absence. The curse returned, not because of you, because of justice. They called your love weak. Now their strength can't hold anything sacred. They buried you with lies, but you're rising. They're sinking. The one who cursed you is now praying to your God. They wrote your end in rage. God wrote theirs in mercy. You forgave them. Their pride did not. They mocked your silence. Now their cries echo unanswered. They cursed what they didn't understand. Now they live what they feared. Your name was the seed they tried to kill. Now it's the thorn in their side. You became the storm they can't escape. They named you ruin, but now their roof leaks every night. You walked away with tears. They stayed with curses. Look now. Their smile faded the day your name reached heaven. They threw dirt on your name, but now they choke on dust. You were the warning. They didn't listen. They cast your name into shadow. Their life now runs from light. The one who cursed you keeps checking your page, hoping you're still broken. You gave them love. They gave you poison. Now they're the ones vomiting truth. Their bitterness fermented. Now everything they drink tastes like regret. They tried to hex you, but you're covered. The spell broke. So did they. You were the sacrifice. They are now the consequence. They laughed at your prayers. Now they beg for sleep. Their mirror cracks where your name echoes. Their peace ended the moment they cursed your soul. You didn't need revenge. God already moved. They said you'd never recover, but they're the one unraveling. They called you a lesson. Now they are the one being taught. They touched your name with hate. Now even their blessings rot. You were the one they should have honored. Now they're bowing to silence. You rise gently. They fall violently. Their hands once held your trust. Now they tremble with guilt. They celebrated your pain. Now they bleed in private. They cursed you once. Now they're cursed by what they chose. You kept their secrets. They cursed your name. God saw both. They poisoned your name, but God made it wine. You loved them with purity. They cursed you with spite. Look now. They called you replaceable. Now their life feels empty. They threw your name into the pit, but they're the ones stuck there now. They can't stop dreaming about the one they cursed. They tried to forget. Their guilt won't let them. Your absence became their haunting. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. They thought your name was powerless. Now it moves their fate. The curse they whispered is now their daily storm. You offered them peace. They cursed your breath. They lost you on purpose. Now nothing feels divine. They lit a fire around your name. Now their house is smoke. They said you'd be nothing without them, but you became everything without their curse. You healed in silence. They rot in denial. Their mouth was a dagger. Now it cuts only themselves. You don't talk about them anymore. They speak to your shadow. They cast judgment. Now they beg for mercy. They slandered your heart. Now theirs can't hold anything real. They named you evil, but now darkness follows them. You walked away with grace. They now trip over karma. They faked love. Now nothing they touch stays. They laughed at your collapse. Now they're watching their own fall. They shattered your heart. Now even their mirror won't look back. Their curse returned with interest. Your name rises with blessings. Theirs trembles with regret. They thought you were the villain. Now they write apologies in dreams. Their smile was a mask. Now the mask is cracking. You tried to heal them. They infected you. God reversed it. They cursed your name, but it was holy. They mocked your loyalty. Now they're surrounded by betrayal. They pushed you away. Now even peace won't stay. Their pride cost them favor. They cursed you in secret. Now the shadows speak your name. You were soft. They called it weakness. Now they beg softness from the world. They underestimated the cost of hurting someone chosen. Their success turned hollow the day you forgave them. They cursed your spirit. Now it walks through their walls. You stopped praying for them. That's when the decline began. You were the bridge. They burned it. Now they drown. They thought you'd stay cursed. But the blessing was delayed, not denied. They cursed a heart that carried angels. They don't remember cursing you, but the universe does. Your name broke their sleep. Their words boomeranged. They thought it was over, but your comeback began in silence. You were always protected. They were just too arrogant to notice. They threw you away. Now they crave your light. You outlived their curse. They're still haunted. They spoke death over your dreams. Now their hope is dying. Your name was their weapon. Now it's their wound. They wanted you broken. Now their life is shattering. They denied your worth. Now they pay the price of ignorance. You cried to God. God answered with their silence. Their bitterness became their reflection. They cursed you with lies. Truth unravels them now. Their curse aged them. Your healing made you new. You glowed through the darkness they summoned. Their curse was temporary. Your anointing is eternal. They spoke against you. Now the wind won't carry their name. They used your love as bait. Now they're hunted by regret. They cursed a soul still on God's altar. You were the garden they trampled. Now they live in drought. Their betrayal was loud. Now even silence shames them. They mocked your healing. Now they beg for mercy. Their house won't hold peace. They buried it with your name. You were their lesson. They're still failing. They cursed your softness. Now they bruise from any touch. Your growth exposed their curse. Their hate poisoned their future, not yours. They named you drama. Now they live in chaos. Your stillness now terrifies them. They treated you like dust. Now they can't breathe. They hexed your joy. Now sorrow haunts their home. You were sent to bless them. They sent you away. They cursed your love. Now no love stays with them. You gave them grace. They traded it for gossip. Their curse aged them. You look younger in every dimension. They called you a burden. Now they carry one tenfold. You were the treasure. They buried you in ego. Their pride evicted every blessing. Your silence screams in their ears now. They mocked your faith. Now their hope leaks through every crack. You wanted peace. They chose poison. They made your pain entertainment. Now their life's a tragedy. They played with fire, but it never left your side. You were the miracle they rejected. Their life's collapse started the day they touched your name in vain. They ridiculed your depth. Now they drown in shallowness. You offered light. They chose to curse the sun. They called you obsessed. Now they're haunted by your absence. You cried for them. They're now crying to be saved. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. They cursed your name, but your silence cursed their future. Their tongue painted you with poison. Now they can't drink peace. You were their scapegoat. Now they can't escape. They threw stones at your name. Now their house has shattered windows. What they spoke in shadows now devours them in daylight. They mocked your pain. Now their joy dissolves in tears. You were the wound they caused. Now they bleed where no one can see. Their curse became the seed of their drought. They dragged your name through fire. Now they beg water from your well. You moved on, but your absence stayed behind and unraveled them. They cursed your softness. Now hardness greets them everywhere. They watched you fall. Now gravity clings only to them. Their words cursed your name, but your name was never theirs to hold. You cried out in silence. The stars listened. They remembered. Their curse echoed, but only grace responded. They stole your peace. Now even sleep betrays them. They celebrated your ruin. Now confetti covers their grave. Their laughter aged. Your name never did. They erased you, but your name carved itself into their endings. You were their exit. They chose the fire instead. They couldn't destroy you, so life unraveled them instead. Your tears built the altar. Their curses lit the flame. They burned your name. Now the smoke clings to everything they touch. They cursed love. Now even mercy avoids them. Your breath once blessed them. Now it haunts their air. They wished pain on you. Now regret shares their bed. You healed. They hardened. Now softness won't touch them again. They cursed what they could not carry. They left you in ashes, but you rose wearing their karma. You were their lesson. They chose ignorance. Their spell broke, but the damage stayed. They buried you with blame, but the resurrection wasn't theirs to stop. Your absence echoes louder than your presence ever did. They threw salt at your wounds. Now everything they grow dies. Your silence was protection. Their silence is punishment. They tried to silence you. Now their thoughts scream. Their lips cursed. Their hands betrayed. Their soul now shakes. They named you problem. Now they can't name peace. They turned others against you. Now even their shadow walks away. You survived the curse. They now live in its echo. Their mockery matured into mourning. They danced at your funeral. Now sorrow won't stop singing. They cursed you in secret. God blessed you in public. Their rage was louder, but your peace outlived them. You took the blame. They inherited the consequence. They spoke death. Now their joy whispers goodbye. They held your name like a weapon. Now it cuts only them. Their world cracked the day you forgave them. They let you drown. Now they're thirsty. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. You gave them light. They cursed the sun. Now they live in shadow. Their curse grew teeth, but only their peace got devoured. They mocked your prayers. Now they kneel in silence. Your name was their weapon. Now it's their wound. They denied your worth. Now they're bankrupt in spirit. You gave them love. They gave you venom. Now they drink from that cup. They mistook your heartbreak for weakness. Now they cry into stone. They rewrote your story, but they can't escape the ending. You rose. They broke. They lit the fire. You walked through it. They're still burning. Their house was built on curses. Now the roof leaks sorrow. They called your healing fake. Now their sickness speaks. You forgave. They forgot. Life remembered. Their joy depended on your downfall. Now nothing lifts them. Your name is their unfinished sentence. You don't show up in their prayers, only in their consequences. Their bitterness turned their mouth to sand. They drank your tears. Now thirst is all they know. Your silence was mercy. Their silence is madness. They lost what they mocked. You asked God to bless them. Now they run from blessing. Their lies built your freedom. Their truth built their prison. They cursed your innocence. Now guilt is their inheritance. They buried your hope. It bloomed over their regrets. Your name outlived their intentions. You walked away. Their karma stayed behind. They tasted power, but couldn't swallow grace. They cursed you once, but your shadow never left. Their joy disappeared the day they forgot your name was sacred. You rose untouched. They decay with every memory. They saw you as disposable. Now they cling to ghosts. They cursed you laughing. Now they whisper alone. They threw your name away. It returned like prophecy. Their pride poisoned every blessing. Your mercy haunts them. They played with your heart. Now time plays with theirs. You healed without them. They're breaking without you. They cursed your smile. Now they fear joy. Their betrayal aged them. You grew younger in grace. You were the one they mocked in spring. Now their winter won't end. They lost you long before you walked away. You asked heaven to spare them. Earth did not. Their pain began the moment they wished yours. You stopped chasing. Now their dreams run from them. Their friends are gone. Your peace remains. They laughed as you broke. Now your silence breaks them. They prayed for your failure. Now their prayers echo back empty. Their peace died where they buried your name. They sowed curses. Now they eat loneliness. Their joy tasted your tears. Now sorrow drinks theirs. They poisoned your name. Now even honey turns bitter in their mouth. You forgave what cursed you. Now the curse hunts its owner. They cursed your reflection. Now their mirror won't show mercy. Your love was the shield they mocked. Now nothing protects them. They walked away laughing. Now they walk alone. They wanted you erased. Now they can't erase you from memory. You healed in the dark. They rot in the light. They defiled your name. Now their own name is unanswered. You glowed through their curse. Now shadows cling to them. Their hate couldn't reach your altar. They cursed your joy. Now even their silence feels punished. Your light burned their mask off. They called you weak. Now they call for you in dreams. You rose with grace. They're collapsing with guilt. Their peace died in your absence. You asked for peace. God gave you distance. They lied in your name. Now truth undresses their reputation. Your strength was never loud. That's why it lasted. They cursed the light you carried. Now the dark won't leave them. You were the love they failed to bless. Their downfall is shaped like the name they once cursed. They tried to delete your memory, but you became prophecy. They planted jealousy. Now they harvest emptiness. You wept like a prophet. They cursed like a fool. You became holy in their betrayal. They called you forgettable. Now they remember you in every breakdown. Their plans for your ruin became blueprints for their collapse. You moved on, but their guilt followed them. Their curse stuck to their own door. They hated your peace. Now chaos is their closest friend. You were their test. They chose failure. Their curse was loud, but your deliverance was louder. They laughed when God was silent. Now silence won't leave them. They gambled your loyalty. Now they've lost all favor. You were the chapter they closed, but the book kept writing. They stared into your ruin. Now ruin stares back. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more.